I love how I start the stream and a fucking plane sounds like it's going down. That's a metaphor, children. It's a metaphor for how fucking downhill this show is going to get. Um, hmm. Give me a second. There we go. I am tired. See, now that's the weird thing. So I was starting the stream, and I'm going to show you. Well, I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to tell you so you can get a picture of how I do my streams. So I've started thinking, well, what's the fucking point of like setting up an event, a streaming event, and putting it like alerting people half an hour before the fucking show starts? Hey, my show's gonna start. So I've been starting to think of just posting one. Probably not gonna be able to do next Saturday because I might be working next Saturday, and I'll be doing something that is going to be very bittersweet. But with Wednesdays, I'll plop a fucking like a reminder. Fucking probably today, probably later today. Like I'll set the time again around like 5:30 in the evening. But yeah. So I like been doing that. Didn't do that today, but whatever. So event the day comes, big day comes. I go on. I have all if I haven't already fucking filled in all the fucking like the description box and the title, check to see what the fuck the number is because I keep forgetting what fucking number I'm on. I proceed to I open up a new tab to the actual stream itself that you guys watch this on, and I'll pop open the fucking I'll pop out the chat because I like to just keep everything fucking minimized so I can just see the chat and my stream just to make sure that I'm still fucking streaming. But now once that's all done, I open up the start stream, open up the control room or whatever the fuck it's called, and then while that's loading, I usually get up, grab, top off any drink I have, like tea or soda or water or juice or what have you, and then I come back down. I sit down at my desk. I grab a cigarette or pull a cigarette right out, like I just did when the fucking stream started. And then I, bam, start. Now, for some reason, I had like 5 people waiting on the stream. I posted it. I had just gotten out of bed, so I wanted to eat something and have something to drink and catch up on some stuff. So, yeah. Have you not yet seen it? Wait, Covenant. I might see it Monday. Because tomorrow might rain. I've already seen negative reviews all up and down the internet. I've heard people complaining about it without spoilers. I've been trying to avoid spoilers the best I can because I don't want to fucking. I want to be like. I want to be disappointed. If it is bad, I want to be disappointed. So I'm not going in fucking with Like, I don't want to go in knowing the fucking shit that's going to annoy me. I want to go in so I'm surprised, like, wow, that really fucking annoys me. Or that pisses me off. Or that's insulting. There are some movies that I know, like, right from the get-go, like, what it's going to be. Like Rogue One. Like, Rogue One's been... Like, it's not a big fucking spoiler. I'm gonna, just in case anybody who watches the stream has yet to see Rogue One. This is a big spoiler. I already knew that the whole crew was gonna fucking die. Already knew that going in. They're not mentioned anywhere else. They don't make fucking cameos in the original trilogy. So I already knew, like, they're dead. They're dead men. Because in the original canon, that's the same thing that happened. The rebels who got who transmitted it to the Tantive 4, where Leia was, all died. That's why they transmitted it. That's why Darth Vader says that there were transmissions beamed aboard this rebel ship. Like, come on now. Like, Vader was on the fucking right on the heels of the rebels the entire time when trying to capture the fucking Death Star plans. Like, everybody should have known. That shouldn't be a spoiler. But apparently people get shocked, like, oh my god, I can't believe everyone in the movie died. It's like, yeah. What the fuck do you think was going to happen? That everybody just got away safely and then just lived in a hole somewhere and didn't do anything for the rest of the fucking Galactic Civil War? Come on now. Jesus. But yeah, probably gonna see it. If I see it Monday, if I do, I'll talk about it Wednesday. Now, big news for Samurai Jack fans, because oh boy, the finale ended and it was a fucking good one. Like, I saw some people bitching and complaining on Twitter about it, and I saw people bitching and complaining on Facebook about it, and YouTube videos were fucking streams. Channels were fucking ranting about how amazing it was, or how awful it was, or how rushed it was. So, here's my opinion, non-spoiler. It was a little rushed, I think. Not as rushed as everyone says it was. I don't really, like, there's some parts that I felt were a little rushed. Some parts weren't. All right, so other than that, I love the ending. Like, I have a little bit of, I have some grievances with the episode, but those are probably going to fade in time, because a lot of people that watch, like, this season did not get the themes of the series, or just or season 5 in general. A lot of people did not get the theme. So, before I dive into spoilers, the theme is Jack accepting loss. That was the whole theme that I got. That's what I took from this season. Like, because I've talked about episodes. I've talked about episodes in the past. Like, every Saturday I was talking about it, or Sunday when the episodes aired and I watched it. For the past 50 years, has been dealing with all kinds of shit. PTSD. He's been dealing with suicidal thoughts. He's been dealing with his depression, his anger, frustration at the fact that he can't go back to the past. the fact that no matter how many people he saves, there's hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions, that are still enslaved or killed or tortured by Aku. And so throughout the season, he was accepting that loss. He was coming to terms with it and moving forwards and still trying to do the right thing. So, spoilers. This from here on out, it's spoilers. So in this episode, we see massive amounts of cameos. We see the apes and their friend, Jack's friend, the apes that can jump good. We see the robots that helped Jack with the giant samurai robot he piloted. The archaeologist dog and his grandchildren. We see the blind archers yet again. We see the fuzzies. We see the weird sea monkey dudes from the earlier seasons. We see the ravers again. Who else do we see? Because there's a lot of fucking people. The episode pretty much opens up as a hard cut with Scotsman's daughters, or one of the Scotsman's daughters, riding back to his castle or his keep, and all of them are watching a TV screen, and so they're all watching, and then it just starts showing all the cameos of everyone that Jack has encountered throughout the series watching the news. Because in the previous episode, Jack gave up and refused to kill Ashi because Ashi is the daughter of Aku. She was pretty much tainted and corrupted by Aku's magic, so she became kind of like a smaller figure of him. Kind of. And so Aku now has the sword. And so first thing right out the gate, after seeing all those cameos and me going, oh my god, look at all these fucking cameos. Aku literally plays the intro to the original series on the fucking news. Just like that. Bam. It was so fucking meta and so trolly. Andy Tartakovsky for doing that. Like, bravo, sir. Bravo for being trolly. Then after that, fucking Aku essentially says, ha, fooled you. Jack doesn't have the fucking sword. I do. To everybody who's fucking friends with the samurai, he's dead. Your hope is dead. All is lost. And Jack is pretty much pinned to a wall, awaiting execution by Aku on live television. And then Aku realizes, hey, I've waited so long to kill Jack, I don't even know how I want to kill him. And so he starts fucking about with his many weapons that he forms with his arms. And then he finally realizes, hey, I'll have my daughter kill him. And during this whole time, Jack is trying to talk to Ashi and convince her to fight Aku's influence. And before she kills him, everybody who is Jack's friends assaults Aku's fortress outright. The archaeologist dog, the blind archers, the fuzzies, the apes, the sea monkeys, the ravers, everybody. And they kind of hold their own for a little bit. And Jack's able to break free because the resulting battle. The giant samurai robot makes an appearance and actually is able to rip the antlers off of Aku's head. The Scotsman and his daughters come in like the fucking riders of Rohan, and to bolster the attackers after Aku essentially starts killing them. Also. They weren't shown during the live feed, but they were shown during the battle. The 300 Spartans appear to help fight for Jack. And basically, Aku summons miniature forms of himself and started fighting them to defend himself from Ashi while she tries killing him because he tries to get his sword, which is held in part of Aku's fortress. And finally, the Scotsman finally meets Jack after 50 some odd years, and he's all happy. And he starts showing off all of his daughters and naming them. And Jack is offered by the Scotsman to take his pick of any of his daughters to be with. Says, no, thank you. And the Scotsman gets all pissed off. And he's like, what, you think you're too good enough for one of my daughters? No, it's just, I found somebody. And Scotsman's all happy. And he's like, really? And he's like, her. And we immediately see Ashi in this giant fucking monstrous form fighting Scotsman's daughters. And all Scotsman can say is, she's just not your type. And then after all of this fighting, Aku finally gets sick and tired of it. He brings back all of the minions that he had created back into his main figure. And he starts he just goes up into the sky and he starts pelting the earth with giant spikes. He starts killing fucking droves of Jack's allies. And the Scotsman's able to use his Celtic magic to protect his daughters. Immediately attacked and kind of assimilated or enveloped by Ashi. And he's able to talk to her, and he confesses that he loves her. And because of that, and realizing that Jack loves her and wants to be with her, she's able to gain some semblance of control over her body. And before she kills him, she's able to revert back to her normal form. Aku comes over and he's like, is he dead? He'll never die. And so Aku gets pissed. He tries attacking her, and she's able to defend herself. He uses heat vision. She uses heat vision, and Jack immediately tells her that you have the same power. You have Aku's powers. And she's like, I do. So she stretches her limb. She prizes the sword out of where it was being held, hands it to Jack, and then she screeches and uses the time magic that Aku used to send Jack to the future. And before Aku can kill both of them, they immediately teleport back, and Aku immediately just goes, oh no. Jack and Ashi go back into the past, and they hold hands while they're going through the portal, and we immediately go back to where the whole series started, where Jack, after having Aku embedded in the sword, he plants it back into the ground. Aku slithers out and tells him that he'll beat him in the future and sends Jack into the future. And then Aku has the monologue while Jack's floating through the time fucking stream. And bam, Jack and Ashi immediately appear, and he's like, you're back already? And Jack just immediately starts hacking into fucking pieces. Like, Aku tries to avoid him the best he can, but he's no match. He was pretty much exhausted. One of the biggest arguments I've seen is that people bitch and complain that Aku this entire time didn't put up a fight against Jack at the end. But what people fail to realize is Jack had beaten like 12 of his forms. He was a scorpion, he was an octopus, a giant eagle, a gorilla. What else was he? I think he was a giant crab creature. Like, Aku was fighting Jack pretty effectively and using all of his trickery against him in the first episode to best him every time. And so he was kind of, defeated. He was only able to beat Jack through like his dark magic and trickery. He couldn't best him one-on-one physically. So when Jack immediately comes back, yeah, Aku is still kind of exhausted from the fight that he had with, like, Jack. Anyways, Jack's able to fight Aku effectively, and just he cuts him in half, fucking kills half of him. The other half tries to scurry away, and Jack just plants the sword right in his goddamn head, in the blade, and then he banishes him finally. The whole tower, Aku's fortress, just goes up in flames and explodes. Ashi and Jack are able to flee to safety, and as soon as it's over, as soon as the fortress is completely obliterated and gone, Ashi collapses, and Jack freaks out because he thinks she's going to die, and she tells him, "I'm fine." She just felt Aku leaving her. And he tells her that Aku will never be able to plague the world again. He's gone for good. And so they go back to Jack's homeland, and they're getting married. It's pretty. We pretty much see all of the people that trained Jack. The Zulu warriors, the Vikings, Robin Hood, the Greek warriors, the Arabian merchant. I believe he was a merchant, or the Sultan. And we see a bunch of other cameos from when we were shown where Jack was going on his global training montage back in, I think, like season 2 or 3. And they're all coming to the to Jack's father's keep or kingdom to attend the wedding. And then we see Jack gets dressed up. Ashi gets all dressed up. She's all fucking dressed in a white gown and stuff, and she starts walking down the proceeding to the altar next to Jack. And as Jack's looking at her all happy, she collapses. And so Jack rushes over. He goes, "Ashi, what's wrong?" And she tells him, "Aku, I never would have existed." And she then immediately fades out of existence in Jack's arms. And Jack cries. And everybody's sad. And then it slowly fades to, I guess, an undetermined amount of time since Ashi's apparent death. Jack's depressed. He's wandering the countryside. He's wearing his trademark gi, and he's riding a horse through a misty, foggy woods down to just contemplate. And while he's sitting there brooding, a ladybug lands on him, and he looks up and he looks at it, and it looks at him, and he smiles, and he lets it go. And as it flies off, Jack finally gathers up his determination and hope and optimistic view, and that's it. The sun shines, the fog and mist clear, and Jack is able to move on. And that's how the series ends. And people have constantly said, like, "Oh, well, it's stupid. Like, should have been. It just felt rushed. It makes no sense that Ashi didn't disappear beforehand. Like, she should have disappeared immediately after Aku died, or she should have been lost in the time stream. That would have made more sense, because then it give us a little bit of hope that she'd come back, or that she was still alive, so on and so forth." One, we don't know how far into the future Jack was sent. If he was sent way into the fucking future, you could make I didn't fucking see it as a big plot hole that she did disappear, because Aku had so much fucking time to do whatever the fuck he wanted. There could have been fucking layers upon layers of, like, shit that was being affected and being changed back to the way it should be. So it could have just been a delay. Just every little thing, so on and so forth, was just being whittled down. Kind of like if you take an hourglass and you put the sand on the top and you flip it up so the sand will fall down. The effects I saw it as, like, all of Aku's evil is slowly being cleansed from the future, and it's just once it reached to the point where Jack and Ashi are getting married, that's when, like, all of it, like, she was the final piece. She was the singular grain of sand left of Aku. And once she disappeared, like, everything was done. Everything had been corrected. And so I don't really see a problem with that. Like, it's bittersweet, don't get me wrong. Like, I never saw a problem with Ashi and Jack getting together. But apparently a lot of fucking people did not like that. I don't know why. Also, a lot of people are like, well, the ending kind of sucks because, like, it just like I just don't understand it. It's like the ladybug. For anybody who's watched this season of Samurai Jack, or for anybody who hasn't seen this this season of Samurai Jack, when Ashi started off as a daughter of Aku. She was birthed from Aku's evil magic and essence, and trained from birth for one sole purpose: to kill Jack. And so when her and her sisters attacked Jack, he was able to kill all of them to save her, and he tried turning her to the light, trying to show her that he's not the bad guy in this. Aku is. And so after a few misadventures, they get washed up on an island in the middle of the ocean, and Ashi has the chance to kill Jack. And when she tries to sneak up on him, she sees he's holding a ladybug, because there's ladybugs just flying around on the island everywhere, and he lets it go, and that snaps her back to Jesus Christ, fucking goddamn traffic. But anyways, that snaps her back to when she was a child, and she saw a crack in the cavern that she lived in, and she was able to see the outside world, and there was a ladybug that landed on her, and she liked it, and she was curious about it, and that's when her mother just snuffed it out. She stepped on it and said, like, that's a frivolous thing, don't focus on that, your focus is on killing Jack. She saw the ladybug be released by Jack. That made her realize that he was a good person. So there's a symbolic nature to Jack seeing the ladybug again, because it makes him Ashi, and he just releases it. Like, Jack comes to an understanding that, yeah, are dead, but what they did was they sacrificed themselves to save me so that I could save them. If it wasn't for Ashi, Jack would not have been able to go back in time. If it wasn't for the Scotsmen and the blind archers, the archaeologist dogs, the 300 Spartans, the ravers, the junk good apes, the fuzzies, if it wasn't for everybody who fought battle, Jack would probably have been killed. Everybody that he helped in the future is gone now. They are. One of them is gone, because every single one of them was influenced by Aku in some shape or form, mostly by his evil. His evil actions kind of influenced how they were raised and how they grew up in that world. So there's hope that they'll be able to live peaceful lives now that the world is saved. And Jack is able to finally just like Jack accepted his darker side, and Jack was able to like come to terms with his PTSD. Jack is able to come to terms and accept his loss of Ashi, and he's able to live with knowing that she sacrificed her life for him. Like, there you go. That's what I took from it. Would I want like a big bad awesome fucking fight between Jack and Aku that lasted like 20 minutes? Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Wasn't really needed though. Like, we've spent 5 seasons with Jack, Aku, dozens of times throughout the series. And Jack has always bested him. Didn't really need him to best him again and then beat him. He'd already bested him before. He'd already beaten him when he came back. That's the thing. So, like, yeah. The series, like, it's a bittersweet ending. Like, I'm going to miss it. Samurai Jack is probably one of the most beloved cartoon shows I remember growing up on. Have an ending finally, and it's an ending that I can actually like appreciate. Like, good on you, Gendy, for doing it fucking justice. Like, a lot of people, I feel, are not going to like this ending because they had their own ending. Like, I don't know. Years ago, because it's been 13 years since Samurai Jack, like the last, like season 4 ended, or the show was canceled. It's been 13 years since then. I kind of didn't fucking like. At first, I was imagining how the series would end and how it should have ended, where like Jack had a big, massive fight. Pretty much the same image or the same thing that they did with in one episode where they had kids imagining how Jack would beat Aku. And then as time went on, like, Samurai Jack kind of just like my views and my expectations for the ending just faded away. And I thought that Samurai Jack would never see the light of day again, and I would never see the ending. And then when they announced season 5, I was excited because I didn't know how the fuck they were going to end the series. So, like, me going in expecting a lot, I expected a lot. Like, I expected like a lot of action and it to be mature, and it met my expectations for the series, for the season. Like, I didn't know how they were going to end it. I was expecting, and I kind of wanted an hour-long special. That's what I wanted. Having seen it and it being only half an hour, I feel like it did it justice. So, yeah. That's all I can really say about it. I'm just gonna wait for the fucking series collection and buy it on DVD or Blu-ray, and I'll just watch it. Just like this upcoming Saturday, they're going to be marathoning the entire 5th season. It starts at 11 p.m., ends at 4 in the morning. So I'm going to be watching that from start to finish. I will say there are a few questions that they did not answer in the 5th season that I know a lot of people were complaining about on like YouTube videos I was watching early this morning before I fell asleep. There's a few questions I have The first big question that I have is what happened to the Guardian? Was the Guardian actually killed? I'm kind of leaning to a yes on that one. Another question that I have is what happened to gathering an army? That was one of the things that was shown in, I think, episodes 5 or 6 of the series. The Scotsman raises an army, 3 major armies with him, and they all attack, destroyed by Aku. And so the Scotsman dies, and he tells his daughters, we're going to build a bigger army, and we're going to find Jack. So I thought from that point onwards, like, the Scotsman would be fun, like we would encounter, like, the Scotsman again with Jack and Ashi, and he'd tell them, hey, we have an army, let's go attack him. And either Jack would have the sword at that point, or Jack would tell him, I don't have the sword anymore. And so the Scotsman would join Ashi and Jack on whatever adventure it is to find and reclaim the sword. And then we'd have the big battle at the end of the big finale. That's what I thought would happen. Apparently, Scotsman just sat in his keep. God, what other questions are there that I was thinking of? Like, everything gets explained pretty fucking thoroughly at the end. Like, if you know anything about time travel, you would know, like, since Aku no longer exists, that means that future does not exist. Like, again, it doesn't mean everybody just randomly fucking died and they no longer exist. Just that incarnation of them does not exist. Like, I've heard people complain, like, oh, Jack didn't have, like, a final goodbye with everyone. The Scotsmen, the fucking archaeologist dogs, the blind archers, and everybody that Jack has, like, helped and saved throughout the fucking series. See, like, that is a problem, especially with the fucking circumstances of, you know, they're fighting Aku to distract him so that Jack can reclaim his sword and either kill him right there on the spot or, like, go back into the past. Like, you know, something most people would, like, it sucks. It sucks that we don't have, like, a heart-to-heart where Jack's like, thanks, everybody. I'll see you in another time. Like, thank you so much for all your help. Like, he didn't have time to do that. I've also seen people complain, like, oh, well, it's a Deus Ex Machina that Ashi has Aku's powers. And it's like, of Aku, like, the first fucking episode opens up with an unholy fucking ritual before Aku, like a statue of Aku, where Ashi and her sisters are birthed on a stone slab. Like, we know that her, like, we find out during an episode where Ashi is journeying across the world trying to find Jack that she was thrown into the pit of hate. Gave her the black suit, which is made of dark magic. Like, so there's some kind of evil magic within her. We find out in episode 9, you know, Ashi is in fact, like, totally 100% the daughter of Aku. He gave a portion of him to the daughter, the previous incarnation of the daughters of Aku, and Ashi's mother drank the essence of Aku, and that was able to spawn all seven of the daughters. So yeah, kind of makes sense that she would have in some part his powers, especially after, you know, he uses more of his essence to corrupt her completely to his side. Fucking like a spawn of him. She even gets the flaming eyebrows and antlers or horns that he has. She's able to shape her body into weapons and stuff. So like episode 9 kind of showcased that, yeah, she has his powers. We don't know the extent of those powers, but we know that she has those powers. So, I mean, it's kind of weird that she just knows how to use, like, she knows how to call up a fucking time portal, but that's not really that big of a gripe for me. Jack, throughout the journey, could have told her, like, that's how he used it. That's how he sent me back in time. She may have been able to, she may know about these powers subconsciously because she's part of Aku. Who knows? We're not really like a thorough explanation. But yeah. People really need to fucking just the ending for what it is. Like, there's some people, like, so much hate for this episode, and I don't know why. There's people that were complaining, like, oh, well, we thought it was going to be like this big, bloody, like, uber dark season the entire way. And it's like, yeah, it started off fucking horribly dark with Jack seeing his fucking family floating down the river drowning, and then a sea, like the river is flooded with corpses begging for him to help them. Children from the village that he's fighting Scaramouche in asking him, like, save us, Jack. Why didn't you save us? Him, like, battling his persona, his alternate, like, his alter persona, like the depressed Jack, psychopath Jack, and I forget what else. Basically, he has a fucking him that wants to kill himself, and then the other one is just this sadistic murderer. Like, we see him battling through that, and then finally, when he comes to that part of him, that's how he's able to obtain the sword again. Like, yeah, he still has those doubts, but it's him and him alone. It's not another persona. Like, the Daughters of Aku get beaten in what, the fucking 3rd or 4th episode? Like, Aku's in a fucking malaise. He just can't beat Jack. Jack's not aging. Oh, that's a question that I have. Like, Jack didn't age. That's one. Like, 50 years passed and Jack didn't age at all. Why? Like, why didn't he age throughout that entire time in that 50-year span? Like, because of Aku's magic and sending him into the future? Is it like because they were fighting in like near a time point? Like, one of my theories was when Jack was fighting Aku near the time portal and exploded, some, like, the residual magic from it, you know, kind of affected and tainted Jack portal, essentially, or just slowed down his aging to a crawl. Let's see. Yeah. Christ, what else is there? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Those are the only grievances I've really heard a lot of people complaining about. Too fast, too short of an ending. The ending sucked. The whole Ashi dying was a fuck, and Ashi having Aku's powers was Deus Ex Machina. Like Jack didn't have a farewell speech or a farewell fucking montage with everybody. Like I don't know. There's also the fact that like a large chunk of the Samurai Jack fan community are vehemently against Jack having a love interest, and some people were saying, "Oh, well, it's kind of fucked up that you're sexualizing the only strong female character in the series." And it's like, what about the Scotsman's wife? She was in a few episodes. She was able to bite off a robot's arm and fucking like just with her teeth. Bite it off with her fucking teeth. She was able to beat robots barehanded. She was stronger than Scotsman. Like, what about Scotsman's daughters? That's like 30, 40 fucking female characters. Yeah, they don't get as much development as Ashi, but still. Like, good God, people. Get off your high horses. Ah, God. Just awful. Awful, awful, awful how people fucking just cannot accept something for what it is. Like, if it's on some level, like if it's forced, then yeah, I can understand the complaints. Jack and Ashi did not become a thing until like episode 7 or 8. No, I think it was episode 8. Episode 8 was when it was like, bam, they're making out. This episode, Jack left her behind because I'll lose her. He didn't want to lose her because he had feelings for her. And he didn't want Aku killing her and him fucking falling back into that pit that he was in. So, like, the rest of the time, she was just more like a student. She was learning from Jack. She was learning about the world and how everything was and how it was created. Like, she was seeing how far-reaching Jack's influence is and how he saved and helped so many lives and, like, sacrificed his own desires, like going back in time. That's just what it was. It's just how it is. So, yeah. I honestly can't see a lot of these fucking complaints that I keep on YouTube and Reddit and Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, so on and so forth. It just gets really exhausting sometimes. But yeah, I think that's about it for today. I mean, just wanted to ramble about Samurai Jack since there's nothing else I've really been doing as of late. So, yeah, I'll talk to you all later. And I'll see you Wednesday.